Yeah, we're gonna have Right, another day, another video. Adam and myself have finally got some time. We're back down working on the Jellyslider Sierra. Plan for today, we can't get it fired up because battery's dead and we can't find any jump leads. But plan for today is to finish off the steering rack spaces and the extensions on the steering arms, get the new 3-door calipers mounted properly and plumbed in and bled up is the plan. And then hopefully we can come back with a battery that's charged up and get it to run again. Just needs a good wash. Looks a bit like a barn find at the moment, but yeah, see how we get on. So just a quick recap. This is our ST170 turbocharged 3-door 1.6L Sierra drift car. It's got a welded diff in it. We've got a hydro handbrake in it. We've got Corsa power steering, quick rack, and eccentric top mounts. Zeus speed inlet manifold. It's a DWYB turbo off of a T5 Volvo. Probably about what, 200 horsepower? Thereabouts. It's only a stock ST170 with a decomp plate in it, so it's not black top pistons in it to try and lower the compression a bit. It's running on Omex 600, and we've been extensively modifying the front suspension to try and get more lock, more angle. So if you'd have seen on the previous videos, I've made up these, what do you call them, Wang Fab drift arms. The old caliper's in the way, you can't really see it that well. Which ties onto the original or the old compression strut mounts. We've got highly modified 3-door Cosy front hubs with a shortened steering arm, which is down the front, which has been gusseted, so hopefully that won't snap. We've blanked off the, is that the ABS sensor? Yes. 3-door Cosy 4-pot calipers and 3-door Cosy now discs, because the original discs that were on this were like 10p pieces. You've got these funky studs in there now, like rally design. What are they? Where are these from?
Oh, where are they from?
These rally style studs for quick throwing on lug nuts.
I think they're from Rally Nuts.
From Rally Nuts, we reckon. And now, to finish all this setup off with our gas coilovers, we need to add these steering arm extensions, but we also need to lop a bit off. We got Carlo to machine up some mild steel little hula hoops to size, and they go in this point here, and that basically allows the rack to travel further in and out of the casing. So we'll have more movement on the rack. We've got more greater movement on the steering arm, and then we've got extended steering arms on the outside of the rack. Is the plan. So hopefully it'll all work, and it will make for a much better skidding experience. Right, so our first issue with our little spacer idea is the fact that once you put that on there, the idea is obviously to give this a little bit more clearance going into the casing. The thread doesn't actually start until, I don't know, what's that? 4mm inside the actual shaft of the rack. So you're only actually going to be biting onto 2 threads, which is a no-go. So I'm going to quickly see if I can run back to my house, pop this in my lathe, and I'm going to try and turn this down 4mm here, and we get rid of that spacer, and then we'll have a little bit more thread going in and a little bit more clearance on this end to send this lump into the casing a bit further, is the plan. Another option is you can get these made up. We've only got one of these. Who sent you this one?
Robin XR4i.
Robin sent us these, which basically go onto this, and then you can obviously turn this down without affecting the ball. What we're worried about is obviously if I cut this back 4mm there, whether or not we're going to be eating close to where the spherical bit is for the ball that goes inside here. Time to fire up old Bessie. Luckily this fits into the little baby chuck of my Myford Super 7. We'll clamp that up and we'll skim this little section here off, I think. See how this goes. Right, so that's turned down 26mm by 4mm in. Didn't want to make it any smaller because, as I said, I don't know where the ball is in relation to this, and I didn't want to obviously do it to the point where it breaks through. So we've gone to 26mm on that piece, 4mm in. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit more travel, and obviously we retain the right amount of threads going into the end of the rack itself. So there's a before and after shot. You see what I've done. Hopefully that makes sense. fit it and see if that runs nicely into the body of the casing of the steering rack. Fingers crossed. My new dust cap came out pretty well, considering I didn't actually take it with me. It's just on flag packet drawings. Like a glove. And then we'll bang it together. Put the new boots on. Bang in the car. Easy. Nice. So we're going like 4mm either side, extra travel.
Yep.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but
it's ratios.
Every little helps. And then we've got to work out how much to take off of this to then add on our extension onto the end of that. So we've got a longer rack. Yeah, why do we need an extension on this?
Because we've extended out our arms. So
just pulled everything out, okay. You've got enough thread like that?
I think so.
So the rack is done, we can bang this back on, and I think we're just to finish bleeding the brakes, and then we are going to see how much we've got to cut off the ends of this where we put the spacers on. Because man. So there's a whole series on my channel, if you haven't already seen it, where we built this car. We originally had it as a supercharged 1.8 silver top, and now we've gone for the ST170 engine. But yeah, basically shows us mounting all the engine up, doing all of the lock mods on it, and throwing it all together with the crazy suspension setup. Didn't get much use out of it last year. I don't think we even used it once last year. So hopefully this year we're going to get it back up and running with the modified suspension, and go skid it about, have some fun with it. It's really big battery.
Right, the wheel is clear of everything.
Go the other way.
Yeah.
Brake line, look alright.
Brake line.
Full lock.
Seems to be clear. Yeah, the brake line we need to sort of just put a cable tie.
So the only clearance issue we've got is on the bumper mount in there, but we have got some more of the recessed bonnet pin things, so we could always put this front bumper on a bonnet pin thing and cut that bracket right back. For now, the little mounts there, we could just, I don't know, hammer that out of the way, cut that out of the way. Lock looks pretty good though. Just trying to work out the spaces for the rack that we bought. These ones are far too big. So we've just put it back on the standard steering arms, just to work out how much thread's actually going in. By the time we wind the wheels out to get them straight, I need to work out that we've actually got enough thread going into the track rod ends. Otherwise I'm going to have to try and modify these, make these smaller somehow, to try and get a happy medium as to where we need to be. But yeah, it's looking pretty sick. Right, so it's been probably about 11 months since we were last working on this. Well, both of us. Adam's been tinkering away. We've had some nightmares with wiring, and he's had to basically redo all the old fuse box. And we've had nightmares with the new calipers that we fitted. Basically, the link pipe seal on the caliper wouldn't work, so we had to take them all off, take them to Carlo, get him to remachine the seat so that the brake line would go in. We've had some issues with the steering rack, but Barton's gone through it all. Booked a skid day, so the car is now loaded up, got the tools in the back, the wheels on the rack and in the boot. And yeah, we're basically going to go catch up with Lawrence, who's taking his Mark II Escort, and yeah, we're going to go and test our new Wang Fab suspension on the front. So yeah, check out the next video for all of the spins, spills and skids with a Jellyslider. But that's it for this video. Until next time, I'll catch up with you guys later. Take it easy.